Kunle Pelemo, also known as KP, is a multi-talented nation-building and knowledge business strategist. He is the CEO of Control HQ International Limited. He is also a senior partner in My Care Buddy, the foremost mental health tech startup in Nigeria. His work experience traverses the oil and gas sector, tech startup, human capital development, and nation building. He was the lead operations strategist of Gulf Treasures Limited, a fast-rising oil and gas company in Nigeria. He is an advocate of mental health and suicide prevention in Nigeria and Africa at large. He is the founder of Live and Not Die Land. Over the years, he has undergone series of courses in reputable institutions such as University of Glasgow, Philanthropy University, and Mental Health Academy for the purpose of certification and knowledge acquisition in respect to his advocacy. In March 2020, Kunle was nominated as the 2020 Mental Health Champion by the World Dignity Project after his works gained recognition by so many organizations and individuals within and outside the shores of Africa. He has featured on so many programs on national TVs, radio stations, live casts, etc., creating awareness and offering support for people. In June 2021, Kunle was named among awardees of the 2021 World Happiness Olympiads Award. Kunle is currently a senior partner in My Care Buddy, one of the foremost mental health tech organizations in Nigeria. He hosts a mental health awareness and suicide prevention weekly show on 2 online radio stations in the UK, MZ Radio London and AP Radio UK. His favorite quote: "The mind, an asset to us all. The use, the difference between us all." Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome to Move 2025 Convention, Kunle Pelemo.
You can do better. You can put those hands together. Put those hands together. Put those hands together. Hallelujah. Wow, it's great to be in your midst today, and I am so glad. I am so happy. I know God is going to do something in someone's life today, and I am not saying that because I want to prime you. I am not saying that because I want to pump adrenaline into your blood vessel or your blood veins so that the strands of your hair will rise and you have goosebumps all over your body so you can shout. But God has promised that anytime we come and show up in His presence, He is right there, presently present, like they say, to present presents to those who are presently present in His presence. And I am sure that Almighty God will not make your coming here be in vain. No matter how it is, no matter what the intention you have come here today, you have come to meet with God's intention for your own life. And the intention of God for your life is good, and that you might have an expected end. With that joy and that gladness in your heart, I want you to walk up with that confidence to 1, 2, 3 people and tell them categorically. Let it reflect in your voice. Let it reflect in your posture. You don't say, "I am happy," and then you look down. Look at that person right in the face and let that person know that you are confident about why you are here. That I am glad that I am here, and I am glad that God is going to meet me at the point of my need in this place today. If you ain't doing that already, no, I don't know what you're doing. 1, 2, 3 people. 1, 2, 3 people. Shake those people. Shake them. Shake them. Look them right in their face. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you. You may have your seat. You may have your seat. Thank you so much. I want to sincerely appreciate the grace of God in the life of the minister who is our daddy in the house, Pastor Dan, and then the leadership of men of valor and exploit. Move for putting this wonderful conference together, and also for inviting me to be part of this. And I know that it's going to be a blessing that is signed, sealed, and delivered. The truth of the matter is, what we are going to start and learn in here today is one of those key factors that will determine a lot about each and every one of us. I know we are Christians and we love God. It's so important for us to learn some of the things that are going to definitely shift or create a shift even in our own personal lives, in our workspace, in how we relate with people. And that has to do with our mental health. Tap somebody and say mental health. But before I go straight to what I'm going to do in here today, if my slide is ready, I want to hit it running. I have a lot of time, so we're going to have a good time. No doubt about it. I want to break the ice, and I call it an icebreaker. So if you have your pen, your paper, let's do something as fast as we can. Let's have an icebreaker. Just you flex your hands and your brain a little bit. I engage with people, and I want you to engage with me because this is a live class. If you are live, shout hallelujah. So you're going to see some words on the screen right now. I don't know if we are there. Yeah, great. If you can see that, say hi. You know, I told you I like to engage my class. Now, the words that you can see, the letters rather, ATTYIRECIV. How many letters are there? Count them, please. How many letters? Yeah, 10 letters. Thank you. You're going to form a word with the letters, because the letters are, they are totally in disarray. You're going to form a word, but I've given you a clue. The word that you're going to form starts with letter R. So pick R out of those letters that are in disarray. Pick R first. Just write R first. So with the remaining letters, form a word. And let me know what the word is from your end. Are we ready to go? Let's go. Pick R. R is going to be the first letter that you are going to use. If you have formed yours, just raise your hands and I will come to your side and check. Don't say it out yet. You're done. Have you formed your word? Yes. Any word, let the word start with R. And then use it. Use all the letters. Yes, all these letters. This is a word. This is an English word that I scattered. And that English word starts with R. So pick that R as the first letter and use all these letters to form that word. Do you understand now? So it will be R, it could be R-C-T-Y, but that word must be pronounceable, not a Chinese word. Do you understand now? Let's see. Can anyone come up with that word? Or you need one more clue? One more clue. If you need one more clue, say hi. All right. The next word to that R is E. Put E next to that. So you have R-E. Start picking those words. Let me see whether you come up with the word. You got it? So the second clue helps so many people. So what did you get, sir?
I got reactivity. Reactivity.
Same word. What did you get? Same word. Reactivity. Somebody say reactivity. I want you all to write that word reactivity now. R-E-A-C-T-I-V-I-T-Y. Reactivity. I want you to write it. I have a reason for doing this particular icebreaker, and then we launch into what we are in here today to do. Have you written the word reactivity? You're going to do one more thing for me. In the middle of the word reactivity, there is a C, a letter C. Can you see it? Pick that letter C out of where it is and put it at the beginning of that sentence, of that word. What will it come with? It becomes what? Now you can see a shift that happens. You have reactivity. You know what it means to be reactive? Something had happened before you respond or before you react. At workspace, a lot of people, even in life, we are told that we have to be proactive rather than what? Reactive. And when you write the word reactivity, it takes only just one shift. Somebody say one shift. And that shift is taking that C in the middle of that word and bring it to the beginning of the word, and a whole lot changes from reactivity to what? And that is what I want to point out in here today, that it takes just a single shift in your life. The shift might be just one meeting. The shift might be just one word. The shift might be just one insight. The shift might be just one idea. The shift might be just one step. The shift might be just one revelation. The shift might be just one innovation. The shift might be just one handshake. The shift might be just one knock. The shift might be just one open door. The shift might be just one movement. The shift might be just one thing that you need to do about your life part time that will change your life forever. You might not even need a whole lot of things to do. It might be just one shift, and that one shift might just be why you are in here today. It was just one word that Jesus Christ spoke, and he took one man called Peter from the boat when he saw Jesus walking on water, and he said, if you are sure you are Jesus, tell me to come. And that one single word that Jesus said, come, that was the word that took Peter out of that boat. And that same Peter, who was human, stood on water and was walking just like Jesus. One shift. Somebody say one shift. And that shift is what a whole lot of people will experience today when it comes to your mental health. A whole lot of people might be asking so many questions. Why are we talking about the word mental health in church? What does it mean? How important it is to us? We're going to learn about it today. And if you are ready, say hi. Hit the screen for me and let's start. One important thing that will form like the foundation of our learning about the word mental health today is the statistics that is available to us. And that will give us a picture of what it is. That will give us the enormity or how important it is in the world or in our society. It is said, based on statistics, and you know how important statistics are. A lot of people, when they want to do something, they want to look at history of that particular thing. How often does it happen? Even as a matter of fact, if you're having a medical condition and you go to your doctor, they ask you, how often do you have the headache? Do you understand? It's to form a kind of knowledge or to have an information about that particular thing. And the same way, your mental health, there are statistics that are surrounding it that demands what we are doing in here today. If you are still in the building, say hi. It says that about 30% of Nigerian population suffer from mental illness. How many percent? 30%. That's huge. Which means if Nigeria is 200 million people, how many people are suffering from mental illness? How many millions of people? What's 30% of 200 million? That should be 60 million. Do you understand? So when you have 200 million people, 60 million out of them suffer mental illness. And look at the next one. 1 in 6 of us will experience mental health problem in any given week. How many? 1 in 6. So if you have 6 people in the room, one of them at least will experience mental health. So what are these things? Mental health related issues. And it's also said that 1 in 30 experience PTSD. PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. And one of the key things that we are going to deal with in here today is the word trauma when we go along. But I'm just trying to lay the foundation for you to see how important what we are doing in here is. And the last but not the least on that slide says, depression rate rose by 65% with the advent of what? Smartphones. And this research was carried out in Harvard in 2005. Now, when smartphone came, it was observed that depression rate rose by how many percent? 65%. And the reason is not because it was smartphones that caused depression. It is an issue of correlation and not causation. It is how people now use the smartphone. The reason is because a lot of people have pushed themselves into digital lives. So you see a lot of people on their phones, and it builds that kind of system whereby they are present bodily, but in their mind they are absent. Have you gotten to a point in time whereby you are talking to someone and the person was just answering you but when you ask the person to recap what you are saying, the person is lost. The person was just there looking at you, listening to you, responding to you, but the mind is far away because he or she is pressing the phone. And one of the things that come with all of this might be undue comparison. Have you seen people who post good pictures and then something is now telling you deep in your mind that it's like, I'm not doing well? If you have felt that way, say hi. It's not too bad. But those are the things that we need to correct. A lot of people, some people you don't even know whether the hotel, they just got there, and as they wanted to take the picture, the security guard said, "Okay, what do you want?" I said, I beg, I just want post, I beg. So they just give him like 3 minutes just to take pictures with fine car. But when he's posting, it is now the write-up that will scatter people's head. This is how we enjoy life. And he will post it. So when you now see that one, what will happen? You say, wow, this guy is doing fine. And you didn't know that they just gave him how many minutes? 3 minutes. And when that 3 minutes elapsed, okay, come on for here, Jare, come on for here. And he said, thank you. He has achieved this. And you will now be comparing yourself unduly, and you will be thinking that you are not doing well. Tell somebody you are doing well. Do you understand what I'm saying? It had even gotten to a point in time that some people, when they are in the hospital, they are still with that phone because you want to. Do you understand what you want to keep up with everything. You are in the hospital, nurse wants to give you injection, and you are still saying, my injection is classy. Chilling with the nurse. Can your nurse ever? My nurse is prettier than yours. You see all kinds of things that people do. And that kind of period, it's a period whereby you need to even recharge yourself because maybe you need bed rest. But it had gotten to that period that thing will keep coming for more. And that's why when you have you ever finished watching your reels on maybe Instagram or wherever, or TikTok? Have you finished watching them anytime? The more you scroll, the more it will come. And it will keep coming. It will keep coming. It will just be coming. It will just be coming. And your time is just going like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you do not find a way to draw the line of when to stop, such a person will slip into depression. Because it will sap you of your energy, sap you of your time, sap you of your thinking, and so many things will go down the rail. Next slide, please. So the role mental health plays in national development cannot be overemphasized. The global mental health statistics says about 1 billion people, and the population of the world is how many billion? 6 billion. So it's about 1/6% of the people of the world that are having mental health related issues. It is serious. But the problem is, most of us sweep all of these things under the carpet. We don't want to talk about them. Most especially our men. Do you get what I'm saying? Have you been told at a point in time when you were young that as a man you are not supposed to cry? Do you understand? As a man, you have to bottle up your emotions. Don't show your emotions. Do you understand? So when something happens, they will say, hey, clean your eyes. So, and you are bottling up a lot of things. You are emotional, man. Hello? You are emotional. That doesn't stop you from looking so good. Knot your tie, tucking your shirt, wear a nice shirt, nice shoes, wear a nice breath, and you go to places. But that doesn't mean there are no things going underneath that is disturbing you that you need to speak up about. Because when you speak up, that's when solution will come. When you close your mouth, you magnify your problem. Hello? Because they tell you, big boys don't cry. About 1 billion people in the world, it's massive, are suffering from mental health related issue. And this is one thing that is very, very important. It is estimated that for every $1 that is invested, you can go to the next slide, sir. Every $1 investment in mental health will yield $4 productivity. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you invest just $1 in mental health, it's going to yield how many dollars? But are we ready to make that investment? I want 5 men to just show up. Thank you for coming, because I've been looking for someone who is so tall. 5, bro, just show up. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more show. Yes. So I want us to just line this way. So line to face the camera. Just follow him. Yeah, I want you to follow, because you are closer in height, so that people who are vertically advantageous. All right. Now, look at it. It's going to get to a point in time. How many people are here? We have 5 people. But because of the nature of the stature of this man, if you are looking from this end, will you be able to see other people? No. But there are 4 other people who can do more than what he alone can do. Hello? Now, this is the investment that we dread sometimes. Do you understand what I'm saying now? This is the investment that we dread. This is the $1 of investment that when you make the investment, just step aside now, what happens? It reveals these 4 people. This is the productivity that you get. But because this seems so humongous, it seems so big, we fail to do that. And that is why I am challenging you today that as much as you can, everything that we are saying in here today, take it very serious. You can have your seats. Thank you so much. Let's put our hands together for them. Just hit the next slide. Now, the investment I am talking about might not only be money. The investment could be your time. The investment could be just a meeting, a gathering just like this. And that's the question that I asked right there. What is my figurative $1 investment? What is that investment that you need to make to to make your mental health soar, to make your spiritual health soar, to make your work-related issues soar, your relationship. It might just be just that $1 investment. And I mean that $1 figuratively. It could be just that little time you spend with your kids. Do you know that some people, when they get home, the child will be looking at them as if they are strange, and is used to the mom more than the dad. So when he knocks and he enters, the kid will just run. Mom, it's like we have a visitor. Because in the morning you had gone, you will come back very late, and they are not used to you. So it could be that little extra time you spend with them, take them out, have a good time. And I used to say you don't have to have millions of naira before you have good time with your children. You see people take their kids to Dubai, and you can create your own Dubai by yourself. Hello? Do you know how you will do that? Do you know how you will do that? Somebody say, tell me. Now when you get home, get all the drinks that you need, put it in your parlor. That's your living room. Take your kids to the room. Now get a cardboard. You know what a cardboard is? And a marker. Write very boldly right there. Write, welcome to Dubai. Write. And put it somewhere close to your living room. Go to the room and tell the kids, we are going to Dubai. And you have music playing in the living room. You have drinks right there. And then you say, hey kids, let's go. And they walk with you, and you walk majestically right into your parlor, and you celebrate yourself. The analogy is, with what you have, you can celebrate yourself. Don't wait until you make millions or billions. Even in your house, you can create a Dubai right in your house. It has a way of helping you. And one of the things that we really need to do is what this next slide is talking about. The reason is because we are focused so much on a particular part of our health and swept a lot of other parts under the carpet. Hello? And this is what I called our tip of the health iceberg. Our tip of the health iceberg. Check that picture right there. Can we celebrate Daddy as he comes in? Thank you, Daddy. Welcome, sir. God bless you real good. Our tip of the health iceberg. Can you check what we focus on? What are the two things that we focus on? I mean, you know what an iceberg is. You see it in water, isn't it? You only see the tip, just the tip. But you don't know that there is a large mass that is under the water. And so, as a sailor, if you judge the mass of the iceberg by what you see and you hit that mass, what happens? The boat will capsize. Because what you see on the surface is just a very, very meager of what is lying underneath that you don't see. And look at what we focus on. Physical health. Physical health is not bad. And physical health comprises of what? Diet and exercise. So you eat well, very nice, and you exercise so well. I know some of you go to the gym, you want to have 6 packs. 6 packs is good. But someone like me, I'm okay with my 1 pack. And I know that I am still even better compared to some people that have Indomie super pack. But whatever pack you are having, make sure what we are speaking about, the next, is very important. And look at what people sweep under the carpet: their emotional health. How often do we talk about our emotional health? Mental health, environmental health, social health, spiritual health, occupational health. We don't talk about them as it used to. And when the effect of all those things are coming, it affects a lot of people. Hit the next slide. And so, the question that will be on the tip of so many people's tongues is, what is mental health. Ask someone, what is mental health? Next slide, please. Your mental health is comprised of 3 important states. 3. How many? Number 1 is your emotional state. And your emotional state talks about how we feel, how we act, our interest in life, our happiness, and our satisfaction. Your mental health talks about your emotional state, how you feel. So there are times whereby you feel so good, and there are times you feel so low. You need to get up. And then the next state is your psychological state. Psychological state. And your psychological state talks about how we think. And the Bible even makes it clear. As a man what? Thinks in his heart, so is he. So when we are talking about mental health, we are not talking about something that is outside the Bible. And then liking most parts, let me read some of the things right there in the previous slide. Liking most parts of one's personality. Have you seen some people who don't like who they are? Hello? And they tell you. And there are people who have even gone to the extent of taking their lives because of that. There was a man who is a celebrity in the United States, and he took his life. And do you know why he took his life? He wrote a note that he took his life because of the fear of old age. So that when he feels that if he's growing older, he will not look as fine as he is now. Do you understand? And he took his life just because of that reason. How well do you like? Some people will not even be satisfied with how God creates them. And you will be wondering whether God created you on a public holiday. Maybe he just told one angel, I better go and form that person. When God has said that you are wonderfully and fearfully made by him, why won't you like your own personality? And when it talks about wonderfully and fearfully made, it means that God took his time to create you. And he knows that it is only you in that particular structure, with that particular intellect, mind, body, soul, spirit, that will fulfill that particular purpose that he had created you to fulfill. If you are too tall than how you are today, you are too tall. If you are shorter than this, that means you are too short. If you are fatter, you are too fat. If you are slimmer, you are too slim. If you speak faster than you speak and you envy someone who speaks so fast, it means you are becoming someone outside who God has made you to be. That's why it's so important for you to celebrate yourself every time. Wake up, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am the best thing that God has ever made. I am wonderfully made. I am fearfully made. I am a creature that God has taken his time to make. When God was talking about the potter in the book of Jeremiah, if you learn about that, I'm sorry, that's like a digression. When Jeremiah, the Bible says, and the word of God came to Jeremiah to go and learn from the potter's house. If you have read that place, say hi. I quickly want to bring something out there. And he said he got to the potter's house and he saw the potter. He was walking on the clay. He was rotting. And he got to a point in time, the clay was marred in the hand of the potter. Maybe there was a crack. And what happened? The potter broke down the clay and made it again another. That's not the point. The point was, this was not a vision. Jeremiah stood up and went to the potter's house. All through the stay of Jeremiah in that potter's house, the potter never noticed that Jeremiah was there. And what God was telling him was, he's so concerned and focused about your life that he will not even notice what everyone was saying about you. They say that you are just someone who came from the village. Why do you deserve all this grace? he will not notice them. They will tell him that, why would you favor him? He's tall, he's dark, is he only him? He will not even listen to them, because when he is so focused about you, he knows what he wants to do, to the extent that even when you crack, he will not discard you. He made it again another. If any man be in Christ, he is a new creature, the same person, but all things have passed away. Behold, everything is new. That is from the story of the potter and the clay. And that's why it's important for you to celebrate who you are based on your understanding of who God has made you. Am I changing someone's psychology in here today? Lift your hands and say hallelujah. Hit the next slide for me. And the last state, we talked about 3 states about your mental health. The first state is what? I can't hear you. The second state is what? And the third state is your social state. And basically your social state is just how you relate with your environment. God does not create us to remain in isolation. And that was why when coronavirus struck in 2019, 2020, it affected a lot of people. And United Nations even reported that mental health related issue will surge. And it happened. The reason is because one thing happened that countered the order of God. Because men are not created to stay in isolation. We are created to relate with one another. And that's why when you see anyone who wants to be a lone ranger, check that person well. There might be a problem wrong somewhere. Hello? Next slide. So, although we sometimes hear the term mental health and think about mental illness, the two are not the same. And that's one of the problems we face. When you hear the word mental health, or you ask someone, talk about your mental health, what will you hear? When I'm not mad. Because we have confused mental health for psychiatry, or for sanity, or for madness. They are not the same. Hit the next slide. We're going somewhere. We're going there really. Mental illness encompasses disorders that occur in the brain, like depression, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, otherwise known as OCD. Have you seen some people that they are so perfect to a fault? When they are rinsing plates now, it will look as if the plate is still dirty and the plate is clean. So something tells them that do it more. Do you understand? They keep washing and say rinse it more, rinse it more. They turn back and see a surface and clean it, and the surface will still. That thing might be a disorder, because that thing is putting them under compulsion to do it over and over again. That is an illness. But when we talk about mental health, I love defining it with the definition of the World Health Organization, because that definition is all encompassing. Hit the definition now and let's see it. What is mental health? Mental health is defined as a state of well-being. Somebody say state. As a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential, can cope with the normal stress of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make contribution to his or her community. The first thing you will notice in that definition is the fact that mental health is a state. And what that means is sometimes you can drift away from that state. Hello? So that means you should not beat yourself up when you are feeling down sometimes. If it's unreal to feel down, God will not even have made provision for that. Do you get what I'm saying? When Jesus said, in life, you will see tribulation. What does that mean? In life, you will feel down. But be of good cheer, because I have overcome the world. So that means there is a provision for that problem. So all we are doing now is to learn how to face the problem head on. So mental health is a state of well-being. So it's not whether someone is running mad or no, it's a state of well-being whereby you can do what you need to do, cope with the normal stress of life. If you live in Lagos, that's even a stress on its own. How many of you go out and you come back sometimes, and when someone just use pin to touch you, it will be like you want to slap that person? The reason is because you have faced something stressful that are taking you beyond what you can cope with. But what we are talking about is, how do you cope? How do you cope? And when we talk about coping, we mean coping healthily. Hello? Because some people cope unhealthily. And that's why you see some people, they resort to taking alcohol. Some people resort to what is called self-harm. Do you know that there are some people, when they are feeling so stressful, they take sharp objects and they cut themselves? Do you understand? It's called self-harm. It's because in their mind they cannot process why they are feeling that way, and they need help, and maybe they have not been able to be bold enough to ask for help. And that's one of the reasons we are gathered in here today. And that's why when I see the last thing that was written about the core value of this church, is very valid and very important. Building relationships and support for each other. How do we support each other if we do not open up to each other? I will not know what you are going through, and I will not know how to come to help you. And how do I open up to you when once I open up to you, sometimes the next is as good as if I have gone to Beat FM 99.9 to say my problem, and they'll be using it as advert every 3 minutes. We have to build that level of trust within our community. And that's one of the things for us to realize that, listen, when you drift out of that state, that doesn't mean that it's not about you. It's about how you get yourself back. And one great analogy about this is water. I use water as the analogy when I want to talk about your mental health as a state. Water exists in 3 important states. You can hit the next slide. 3 important states. What are the states? You have solid, you have liquid, and then you have gas. Now, when you freeze water, the one you have in the freezer, if it gets to a temperature of 0 degrees, that's when it starts freezing, isn't it? And then it becomes a solid form. Is that still water? Yes or no? It's still water. Now, when you reduce it, when you start increasing the temperature, and it's getting to over that what we call room temperature, then the water becomes liquid. And when you still increase the temperature and it gets to 100 degrees centigrade, what happens? That's when you are boiling. Then the water starts evaporating and you begin to see vapor coming out. That vapor, if you put something on it and you turn that thing, what would you see? You see water. The solid is water. The liquid is water. The vapor is water. What is the difference? The difference is the exposure of that water to temperature. Sometimes what you expose yourself to determines the state that you will assume. Do you understand what I'm saying now? How well do you expose yourself to things that takes you beyond what your capacity can carry? And I mentioned something very important. A lot of people will watch videos, you watch it until you sleep. The thing will even be playing, you have slept off. You have soaked yourself into that state. And somehow that thing will dominate your subconscious mind. So even if you want to do anything, that's what will be playing in the background, because it has dominated you. And somehow you will not know why you are acting somehow. There is a book titled Why You Act the Way You Do. Do you understand? So when you act, I don't look at your actions. I look at what caused your actions. What have you exposed yourself to? And that's why when you see a lot of people who are having emotional pressure or emotional tension or anything, you don't even address the issue first. You profile the issue. How did it happen? Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you find yourself in a state that you don't like, don't let it be strange to you. All you need to do is to look at how you find solution. Next slide, please, because of time. So why is your mental health important? Next slide. Why is your mental health important? Number one, can we read it loud? Number two, so when someone's mental health is suffering, it can affect every aspect of his life, because it affects, we talked about it, your emotional state, your psychological state, and your social state. And that's why you see some people, when they are going through that process, you just see them, they want to be alone. I'm sure you have also felt that way sometimes. And that's the problem. So when we don't understand all of these things, even in relationship, your wife will just want to be alone and you don't even know why. Instead of you shouting at her, find out what the problem is. Do you understand what I'm saying? She might be in a moment that you need to learn what caused that moment. And sometimes you personally, you want to shut down things that made you laugh before. When someone says it irritates you. You feel so irritant at a very slight provocation. You shout, and people will wonder, is it not this thing that we said? Maybe you got home and you saw cup on the table. Who put this cup here? Ah, do you want to pick? You people want to kill me? And they will be wondering, what's the problem now? And they don't know that while you were in the office, the boss had shouted at you that you didn't meet up your target. So when you get home, everybody will hear it. Is it not me that will go and work and be making money? I will be facing the pressure. You people will just be enjoying my money. I will pay school fees, I'll pay house rent, I'll do everything. So when anybody does anything like this, they will hear where. That's how it happens. And the reason is because you have been bottling up a lot of things for so long. So it's important that sometimes you speak up to ease your mind, to distress yourself. It is said that stress shows up in 3 places in a man's body. Number 1, our face. Number 2, our necks. Number 3, our shoulders. Have you seen some people, when you see them, that they are an epitome of stress? When you see them, you know this person, you even tell that person, go and sleep. You need rest. Because stress is showing on the face. And that's why you also need to be acquainted with yourself. I used to tell people, the first person you need to know is yourself. Self-awareness. And a lot of us today, we know other people more than we know ourselves. You talk about other people. When you talk about all those people now, you talk about celebrities. You talk about them. He just bought 2 cars. He flew private jet from France to England. From England, he sold 300,569,799 tickets just in 2 hours. The views of his TikTok is 1,866,000. Only you. Some people will even call you, hello, please, Burna Boy and Whiskey, do get money pass. Am I the accountant? What's my problem? Am I the accountant? You know other people, and when they ask you about yourself, tell me about yourself, 1 sentence, you are lost. The reason is because you know so much about other people, but you are a stranger to yourself. Ask someone, how well do you know yourself? There are times you need to have your me time. I call it me time. Somebody say me time. Sit down with yourself. Call yourself to a meeting. Just sit down. Ask yourself questions. What do I do in this situation? Who am I in this situation? How do I react? How do I become a better person? Ask yourself. By the time you do it repeatedly, it becomes part of you. So that when you are faced with such situation, then you act on autopilot. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is why it is very, very important. So when someone's mental health is suffering, it affects how he thinks, how he feels, and how he acts. However, when you create a change in all of these things, in all of the states, both in the social, psychological, and emotional state, it can also lead to physical action or lack of. So when you change somebody says change your state and change your emotions. Do you understand? When you change your state sometimes, your emotions will automatically change. If you stand like this for too long, just your head bowed, your body drops, and just stand like that, nothing happened to you. Nothing. Just stand like this. Do you know that if you do that for some times, do you know that that person will be feeling sad without knowing about it? The reason is because your brain listens to you and your brain watches you. That's how we are wired. So your brain will tell you that the state that you are assuming, let us help this person assume that state. So that's why sometimes you need to change your state. You can't be in this position of someone who is celebrating victory and be sad. Have you seen someone celebrating goal like this? Goal. For those of you who watch ball, is that how they celebrate goal? When you are looking for that one goal, and in 99 minutes, and they just pass the ball, and Nicholas Jackson just hit the ball, that's a final, and the referee say go. Even maybe they just say offside, and you people are now saying your mind is now beating. Will they cancel the goal? And referee did like this, back, let's go and watch VAR. And the referee ran and check, and he just confirmed that it's a goal. And he came back to the pitch and just did like this, and you just see someone say go. And that shows that your body and your posture, it goes along with your emotions. So if you want to assume a celebratory mood, change your state. Do you understand what I'm saying? Tell somebody, change your state. Next slide. And that will take us to the next thing that we want to talk about, which is one of the issues that people battle in mental health. And it's the word trauma. Trauma. Quickly, what is trauma? Trauma is an emotional response to a terrible event. An event that happened that is terrible and your body is responding to. And what are those events? It could be a crime. Maybe you witness a crime scene. Maybe you just go to a place and you just see everybody ran. Do you know that some people, that spot will be like a memorial point in their mind? Each time they get to that spot, what happens? There might be a shock in them because the memory will go back to how the whole thing happened. Even though he is saved, but the mind is still in bondage. That's trauma. And it could be accident. It could be neglect. It could be all forms of abuse. And this is very important in our homes. Not for men alone now. I'm talking about everyone. All forms of abuse. And when I mean all forms, I mean psychological abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, and all forms of abuse. Some people have been subjected to all of these things and they don't know how to speak about it, and it's affecting them. And you don't know why some people just act the way they do. Some people dislike some genders. Hello? Am I speaking something strange? Because of what had happened to them. And that's why we have to be conscious, even when we talk about Verbal abuse. Some of us, we call our children some names loosely. Orobo, come here. And you might not know whether she doesn't even like it, and it becomes like a body shaming to her. And it's sticking in her brain, and somehow is affecting how well she likes herself. Something that we talked about. And that person is struggling. And that's why it's so important for us to be, to have that consciousness, that awareness of the things that we do, so that we won't create something like an overload that people will carry forward in their lives. But anyone who is carrying such things forward, there is hope. Tell somebody there is hope. It could be experiencing violence, death of a loved one. It could be war, and so on and so forth. The aftermath in an individual is characterized by what? Shock. That person might be shocked. By denial, unpredictable emotions. What else? Withdrawal. They don't want to do with people. They will just want to stay alone, be in their room. They call them, come out. No, I'm okay. Sometimes you need to check on people like that. Then they will have what is called flashbacks. I know you watch movies, you know what flashbacks are. The same way some people flashbacks into traumatic events. So they replay that event in their mind. This is how it happened. This is how I was abused. This is how they told me that I cannot make it, that I am not up to standard. And we need to be very conscious of all of these things. And it can lead to also strained relationships. And it can even show up physical symptoms like headaches, sleeplessness, oversleeping, and tiredness. Because that person will be looking for a way to cope. And somehow it would drag that person to doing some things that he or she should not do. Hello? Hit the next slide. So many men, and this time around women as well, struggle with emotional wounds inherited from their upbringing. And that's why someone who is raised up in a poor family, the person will be afraid of failure. Do you understand? Because that event is in him. It's like a trauma replaying that, will I ever make it? So if you are talking about millions to that person, he will not even dare near you again. Say, let's do business, and then when you say we can raise 500k, you raise 500k, let me raise 5. That 500k will be like 5 billion. We will say, when I'm not Dangote, where will I say 500k? Do you understand? Because there is that fear in him that, will I be able to make it in life? If you ask that person to submit a CV in a place, say, will I pass? And that thing will definitely bring like a barrier in the life of that person. The trauma. And unresolved trauma does what? Shapes mental health and relationship. And the goal of what we are doing is to help both men and women. The first thing is to acknowledge. So anyone who is having any traumatic experience, the first thing is to what? Acknowledge. When you know there is a problem, that's the first step to solving the problem. And the next thing is what? Process. So what's the process of healing? Which will take you to the next thing, which is heal from generational trauma. So the first thing you acknowledge, there's a problem. Then the next thing, then you go through the process. And it's a process because it's not just a destination, it's a journey sometimes. And that's why it's advisable you don't tell people to snap out of their problem, especially emotional problem. Don't tell them what happened, snap out of it, just come out of it. Killing share now, you are a man, snap out of it. A man has blood running in his vein. A man is emotional. A man can cry. That's why sometimes, even as a man, you can show your vulnerability. You can show that you have your fears. Some of you are too afraid to even tell your wife that you are afraid of some things. You just want to show that you are Duncan Mighty all the time. You are just on top of the game all the time. You don't want to hear from anyone. You know it all. You can do everything. You don't have your fears. But deep down in you, you know you have your own fears. Do you understand? I'm looking forward to a man that will come out and walk to the wife one day after work and say, babe, I'm confused. I need to cry. And you show that vulnerability. And you drop that highness of emotions that is really on your shoulder, that is preventing you from receiving your healing. There is a man in the Bible that I like so much, because he was told something that a woman will do and he accepted it. Do you know that man? That man is called Barak. During the days of Deborah, the Bible speaks about it, that there was a war that was going on, and he went to meet Deborah, and Deborah told him that this war, this man is a soldier, an army man, and they told him that this war you will go there and win, no, but it's a woman that will take the glory. If now our men today, they will just say, let them kuku kill all of us. How will I go to a war? I am the general of this army. It's now a woman that will win the war. And Barak said, so be it. We're looking for that men who are going to be humble enough and show their vulnerability sometimes, because that's how healing can come. Healing does not come when you bottle up your emotions. It leads to implosion. But healing comes when you open up, when you speak up. Because asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Tell somebody, asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Tell someone, it is not weak to speak. So if someone speaks to you, don't just see it as a form of weakness. Hit the next slide. What are the understanding that we need to know about generational trauma? Trauma passed from parents and what? Grandparents. And it comes from unresolved pain, strict upbringing, and unhealthy coping. Examples: emotional unavailability, fear of failure that I have mentioned, harsh discipline, and then all forms of abuse. Next slide. What are the impacts it has on our mental health? Both men and women now. What are the impacts trauma has? You have emotional suppression. You suppress your emotion. Things are happening and then you deny they're happening. Anger, aggression. Have you met people, some people who are just naturally aggressive? Now, let me tell you something. Do you know all those boys who are agberos and they appear so strong? They are one of the weakest. Because that aggression you see is just a way of bottling up their shortcomings. Because some of them are broken. When you see them say, like a close share now, but if you just say, hey, what? You just see him break. Because all the gra is showing is just a way of covering up. He's just showing aggression because he's broken. Some of them don't have life at all. Do you understand what I'm saying? The worst part of it, some of them don't even have names. That's why sometimes just leave them as they are. Don't fight with them. Because when something happens now, how will you now say you are looking for Shadow? His name is Shadow. Do you understand? Even your own shadow, can you get it? Talk less of someone else's. Because that's the name they gave him. Shadow ni, oh amen. But when something happens, Shadow has disappeared. Oh. Just leave them. So some of them, they have lost a lot of things, and that's why they keep showing that aggression. And what would that lead to? Substance abuse. And what? Addiction. As a result of struggles in relationship and parenting, then also chronic stress and burnout. A lot of us are subjected to stress and burnout at work. They give you targets that you cannot meet. And that's the truth. In the work of nowadays, you can't meet your target too. Because if you meet it, they will raise the bar. So you're in the marketing. they will give you 5 billion. And you work so hard, work, and you made 4.5, and you are coming with joy. I will make 4.5. Your boss will just tell you 4.5 billion. So is that why you are happy? Is that why you are happy? Please let me increase our target to 10 billion. And you have to make it next month. Because if you are not doing that, how do we pay your salary? All these companies, they are not making gains. But they are declaring profit somewhere. But when they are telling you, we are running at loss. They are flying private jet. They are still running at loss. So you will walk until you experience what is called burnout. And that's why it's important for you to constantly refill yourself. Next slide, please, because of time. How do you break the circle now? Step 1, acknowledge pattern. You reflect on inherited behaviors and beliefs. Then seek feedback. Journal your emotions. This is very important too. Sometimes when you are feeling somehow, write it down. When you write it down, you personify that emotions. Because you remember what you wrote more than what you even heard. Because when you write it down, you bring it out. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you are feeling somehow, I'm feeling like this today, write that thing. No, it's not like this, so don't write like this. I'm feeling on the edge. I'm feeling irritable. I'm feeling angry. It might be now, by the time you are writing it out, you are pouring out your mind, and you will see a form of relief in you. I don't know, sometimes have you experienced that you are feeling stressed, and it's like there are loads on your head, and your neck is, so when you do like this, it makes sounds. Ka is stress. When you do your hand like this, what happens? Ka is stress. Relieve yourself of it. Hello? Identify emotional triggers. So what are the things that trigger your emotions? All of those things. Identify them so you can either avoid them or cope with them healthily. Self-awareness is the first step. Be aware of yourself. I mentioned it earlier on. Self-awareness. The day the prodigal son became aware of himself again, that was the first step to his repentance. Do you understand? When he now thought about it, I'm meeting with a pig, and my father is right in the house. They can kill cow anytime. They can eat whatever they want. What is even wrong with me? How can a child of a meat seller be eating bone? How can a child of a cloth seller be wearing rag? He's aware of himself, self-awareness, and that leads to the next step. I will arise. Tell somebody, I will arise. Because when you are aware of yourself, it pushes you to do what you need to do. I will arise and I will go to my father and I will tell him, Father, forgive me. Now our house matter now, past that. Do you understand? Next slide. Next thing that you need to do, step 2, about how to break the pattern. Shift your mindset to the mindset of I can change. Tell somebody, I can change. Express your emotions healthily and develop emotional intelligence. And this speaks about Romans 12 verse 2. Do you know what's in Romans 12 verse 2? And be not conformed to the world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Shift your mindset. Next slide. Then seek support, which I mentioned about your core values here, which is very important. Seek for professional help. Just as you are proud to go to doctors sometimes to seek for help, seek for therapists or counselors or coaches who can help you. Then community, grow a community. Just as we are men of valor and exploits, move. Let it be a community to help men and women too. In fact, I like our women. They have all the communities for so many things, and it produces that feel-good factor in them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we have to also create that culture as men. Women do a lot of things. They do baby shower, they do bridal shower, they even do picture. They will go and take photo shoot for a photo shoot. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now you are getting what I'm saying now. All of these things make them happy. They celebrate themselves, celebrate milestones. So when you meet a milestone, celebrate it. Grow a community. And the next one is spiritual growth, prayer, meditation. And the reason is because God is your perfect anchor. God is your perfect anchor. Because God has equipped you, and He is in the business of using you, and you will not get used up. Do you understand? God is in the business of using you, and you will not get used up. And in Psalm 23, David understand that, and he said, and my cup runs over. Do you know the meaning of cup running over? When you are pouring water in the cup, the outward that is pouring is what people are even saying that you are using. They will think it's going to finish, but they won't know that the pourer is still pouring. They are only seeing the overflow, the outflow. And one thing about that process is the water in the cup can never get stagnant, because the one that comes in displays what is under, and then that's the one that will come out. So it keeps rejuvenating you, it keeps increasing you, it keeps oiling you, it keeps making you look afresh every time. It gets you used, but you will not be used up. And the last thing is balance or blend practical and spiritual approaches. There are times you pray about it, and there are times you walk up to someone and speak about it. Next slide. We're moving close. And this is the role of forgiveness. Very important. For some of you who have been hurt by your parents, what do you need to do? Forgive your parents. And for some of you who are blaming yourself, maybe for one thing or the other, that you know it's your fault, forgive yourself as well. Let go of bitterness to heal. Forgiveness frees you to move forward. Forgiveness frees you to move forward. Next slide. And then we've got to redefine both masculinity and femininity. Masculinity involves vulnerability. I've spoken about it. You have to show yourself. Don't just say, I'm too strong, I can do this, I can't cry. I don't show my emotions. You understand? And for our female counterparts too, one of the things that prevents that pushes some female counterparts to the edge is multitasking. Hello? Because you do a lot of things and you pride in it as well. And sometimes it affects what you are doing. You know, have you ever said it to someone and you are expecting them to clap for you? I've been working all the morning and I've not eaten since. Do you understand? It happens. But do you think that is good? That is not. You are hurting yourself. Some people say, I've been working all day long and I've not slept. So that people will say you are superwoman. You are hurting yourself. So when you multitask too much sometimes, call yourself and say, calm down. I know we like it that say I am a multitasker. Maybe that's even what got you your job. Because they say, can you multitask? Yes, I can somersault, and while somersaulting I will be typing, and while typing I will be shaking my leg like this. I can do too many things together at a time. But there are times those things will drive you to the edge that you need to call yourself back. Hello? Last slide. Let's move to the next slide. So, moving forward in wholeness, healing is a journey. I've mentioned it, not a one-time event. Prioritize emotional wellness. Your healing changes generation. Next slide. And there is a particular ebook that I put together that will help you for this. And if you feel it's something you need to get, it's called Mental Hygiene. What you can do on a daily basis, your routine, practical routine that you can, give yourself, that will help you become who you need to be when it comes to your mental aspect in life. You can hit me up. You can hit that number up, and then the link to download the book will be sent to you. We are moving towards the end of this. Heal this slide because we want to have the final takeaway. Yes, go back to that slide. Next slide. And I want you to stand up right now. And you look for a partner. Just find a partner. Have you found one? If you have found one, say hi. I want you to mean what you say, and I want you to say what you mean, and I want you to be as loud and as profound as possible. Look to the person and say, healing is possible. It starts with you. You are not what hurt you. You are what you choose to become. Take the first step today. Say it again. Healing is possible. It starts with you. You are not what hurt you. You are what you choose to become. Take the first step today. Final one, raise your voice. Healing is possible. It starts with you. You are not what hurt you. You are what you choose to become. Take the first step today. God bless you real good. I love you. You may have your seat. If you have any questions, let's quickly deal with that now. All right, there's a hand there. Good. Your question, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session.
You're welcome.
So it's usually said that, and it has to do with parenting, that whatever you fear the most, something that happened with your parents and you, it tends to come again. It tends to be replayed. What would you say is the cause of that? So I'm scared of, say for example, verbal abuse. Yoruba, we tend to use some cruel words on our children, and then it comes to you as a parent, you hated that, and you fear it that you might pass it on to your children, but then it tends to come again, it tends to be replayed, it tends to, reoccur. What would you say is the cause of that?
Let's put our hands together for that wonderful question. Yes, that was absolutely wonderful. Brilliant. Now, I'm going to quickly answer the question with what I call, or what is called, the theory of the mind. Your mind has two important parts. You have the conscious mind and then the subconscious mind, or some people call it the unconscious mind. Your conscious mind is what you use for, let's say, you analyze. As we are talking like this, I'm making use of my conscious mind. Things that you can remember, like short memory. If I asked you what you ate yesterday, do you understand? You will still remember. But if I asked you what you ate on February 3rd February, will you remember? But there's a way you can remember something like that. When we get to the subconscious mind, I will tell you now. So your conscious mind speaks about the things that we do, just things that apply to logic. That's what we use in school. But do you know one thing? Your conscious mind is responsible for only 12% of everything about you. Just your success now. If we want to talk about your success, if it's about the use of your conscious mind, is only 12%. But there is an aspect of your mind called your subconscious mind. And this talks about long-term memory. That's where what she said comes in. And these are things that had happened over a period of time that the mind had picked. And that thing had bypassed your subconscious and it has gotten to your conscious mind, and that controls 88% of everything about you. Let me give you an analogy of how your subconscious mind works. It starts with your conscious mind. What is that word that you say when something just happens and you exclaim that word? Anybody here? Huh? Say it loudly. Jesus. Good. Very good. Now, there is a first time you said that word. Yes or no? Exactly. The first time you said it, you made use of your conscious mind. Hello? So when something happened, maybe as a result of this time around now, because you are a Christian, and then you know that that is the name above all names. Then when something happened, Jesus, the first time. Now, as events happens, your brain will now be watching you. That when something like this happens, this is what she says. And it will get to that point that it will leave your conscious mind and goes to your subconscious mind. Even that word will come out of your mind without even you thinking about it. And that is why some things that had been done to some kids while they were young, abuse or whatever, words that are uttered to them affect them even in old age without them even thinking about it. Because it's a stockpile of things. And remember, I said it controls how many percent? 88%. So in 88% of time, there is every likelihood that that thing will show up. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the same way, there are things that you do naturally. It could be a habit. So the things that are registered in our subconscious are habits, addiction. That's why you find it so hard to break addiction, because it's no longer in the consciousness of that person. It's controlling that person 88%. So when you see some people who will say, I have stopped or I've quit alcohol or smoking, they don't know why they go back to that thing. And that's why it's a strong battle sometimes. Just as you mentioned, what do you do now? Somebody say, what do you do? There is one thing that is now called breaking patterns. The reason is because, remember I said that your mind now has associated something with events. So when that thing happens, you say what you say. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like a pattern had been created. That's how it works. Your brain has created that pattern. Whether it's abuse, whether it's alcohol, whether it's addiction, in your subconscious mind, all you need to do now is to now start breaking that pattern. So what you do is you counter what you are doing. For example, now if you are saying another word that is not Jesus and you want to stop saying that word, that's why even the Bible, see, when I said that all of these things that we are saying, they are not out of the Bible. The Bible said something in a place. It said, let him that steal no more, but let him what? Walk. It is elimination by substitution. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you want to now start saying a different word, maybe what you say before is like maybe what Jennifer used to say, ouch, in Jennifer's diary. Do you understand now? And you now want to say Jesus. So the first time now, you now imprint that Jesus, you are breaking the pattern. Sometimes you will still say your house. You still say it. But consciously, you now still say Jesus. So what you are doing is now you are creating another pattern to counter an existing pattern until that existing pattern will fade. The last analogy I will give you about that. How many of you know the CD play that we used to play in those days? Have you seen it before? Okay, you are still in my generation. I thought I've moved far. You know that CD plate? You know there is a part in it that is glittering. That is where either the video or the songs are encrypted. When you look at it, you will see lines in circle. Do you understand? On that side, it's in circle like this all through the entire circumference of that CD. Yes or no? Now, if you take a pin and draw one small line on one of the lines imprinted on that CD plate, when you play the CD, if the lens that is reading that CD gets to that plate, to that place that you alter, what happens? It cracks, it skips, and it sounds like. The reason is because you have distorted the pattern. Now, if you now create as many lines as possible throughout the entire circumference of that CD, and you put the CD in the player, the CD will not be able to play again, because you have rewritten another pattern. The CD player is your brain. The CD is what is encrypted right there. You have the choice, you have the control to create the pattern that you want. I want to thank you all for your time, and I appreciate you for your audience for listening to me. And I pray that above all things, that your soul, your mind will prosper beyond your expectation. Your mental health is secured, and you have to also take that responsibility of making sure you take charge. God bless you real good, and thank you.